I didn't hear the insult land. I felt it. "You're outdated. We're done here," the CEO hissed, leaning close enough that his breath carried the sweetness of confidence. I replied quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. I remember the exact second because something else was playing in my ears. Nothing. Silence. The earbuds were dead, or pretending to be. It was my birthday gift, 56, a small box, a careful smile from my stepdaughter, an awkward hug. I'd worn them to work the next day, proud in the harmless way men get when they feel seen. During lunch, I popped one out to hear a question, and my coworker, Samir, froze. He leaned in, eyes pale. "You should take this to the police," he whispered. I didn't shout. I took action. I'd raised her since she was 9. I taught her how to balance a checkbook before she learned to drive. I paid for the design school she quit and the startup she never started. I believed in her with the blind faith of a man who thought love could substitute for proof. When her mother died, I became the constant. When she pulled away, I blamed grief. When the CEO started sidelining me, I blamed age. The earbuds were elegant. Too elegant. Samir showed me the seam that shouldn't exist, the firmware handshake that wasn't standard. A friend in cyber forensics confirmed it in an hour. They weren't just listening, they were forwarding. Every call, every meeting, every confession I made to myself while pretending to take a walk. I didn't confront her. Pain is loud, planning is quiet. I kept wearing them. I started mapping the theft backward, the CEO's sudden prescience, his uncanny timing, his habit of quoting my own phrases back to me with a smirk. The earbuds weren't a gift, they were a leash, and my stepdaughter didn't need to understand the whole scheme to play her part. She just needed to trust the man who told her I was obsolete. I documented everything: packet captures, timestamps, audio signatures. I watched the data flow to a shell company I recognized, one I'd approved years ago for a different purpose. I pulled contracts. I found the clause. I found the breach. Then I moved the real piece. At 56, you stop chasing titles and start building exits. Mine was a retirement trust. Boring, invisible, patient. I'd seeded it over decades with stock options converted quietly, legally, relentlessly. 76%. The board forgot because I never reminded them. The CEO forgot because he assumed power is loud. I met with counsel, not 1, 3. I escrowed evidence. I set triggers. I drafted motions that didn't need signatures yet. I waited. The execution took 48 hours. First, the police, not with drama, with packets, charts, and a confession recorded without prompting. The shell company folded under a subpoena like wet paper. Second, the regulator. Insider trading patterns don't lie when you show them where to look. Third, the trust. "You're outdated. We're done here," he'd said. "Understood," I'd replied. That was the moment the trust woke up. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The agenda was thin, the room was not. I watched faces drain as the numbers appeared on the screen. A vote, a removal, a question spoken too late. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I didn't attend. I listened, through different earbuds, clean ones, wired, honest. The CEO protested. He blustered. He threatened. He used my phrases again, like a thief clinging to stolen jewelry. The vote passed. Security walked him out with a box that was too small for his certainty. The fallout found me at home. My stepdaughter arrived with tears preloaded, apologies rehearsed. She said she didn't know. She said she was scared. She said she needed the money. I believed all of it and none of it. I showed her the evidence. I let the silence do the work. Love doesn't erase consequences. It survives them or it doesn't. I didn't shout, I told her. I took action. She nodded. She left. I returned the earbuds to the police in a clear bag. I filed the final document that made my ownership public and my presence unnecessary. I didn't take the CEO's chair. I appointed a caretaker and stepped back. Power is best used once. In the quiet after, I felt the bruise I'd ignored. Betrayal leaves a mark not because it hurts, but because it teaches. I learned that patience compounds, that listening is a weapon when you control the terms, that age is camouflage. I didn't win by being cruel, I won by being exact. On my 56th birthday, I was given a pair of earbuds. 3 days later, I reclaimed my life.